There are some who break the law in secret and others who do it openly. Today I'd like you to meet one man who not only owns guns without a license, but he shows them off in public. His name is Ed Hudson, and for years he's been fighting the federal government, lobbying for laxer gun laws. And yet his relationship with the Conservative Party, the traditional friend of gun owners, has soured lately. So much so that he wants them out of office. And it's all because he feels double-crossed by the party he once supported.
Smell of gunpowder. It's a nice part of the ambiance.
There's a place in the countryside where old wounds run deep.
He definitely needs to be taught a lesson.
It's a last refuge for a gun owner who feels sold out by the government he once supported.
When Stephen Harper was in town, it was like someone that I really didn't like had invaded my personal space. Ready on the firing line.
For 15 years, Ed Hudson campaigned for the Conservatives because they promised to get rid of a law that made gun licenses mandatory. Licenses for the more than 50 guns he keeps in his basement.
I refer to it jokingly as the armory. Bam, 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 pop, 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 pop.
Out in the open, he's been flaunting the law for years, daring the police to arrest him.
Ready down range.
Still, after more than a decade of conservative rule, he feels little has changed.
2 in the magazine.
He doesn't have a license, so just by owning a gun, he's committing a crime.
1 in the chamber.
And because he's not even welcome at a firing range, he made his own, with makeshift targets and bitter words for the Prime Minister.
He has betrayed us, and he's no better than anyone else who's betrayed the people who've trusted him and elected him.
And yet at a recent stop in Saskatoon, the Prime Minister renewed his pledge to gun owners, speaking to the use of weapons in self-defense.
My wife's from a rural area. Gun ownership wasn't just for the farm, it was also for a certain level of security when you're ways away from police.
Those comments drew criticism from many who felt they went too far, including the NDP.
Police across Canada have denounced that. The bar associations across Canada have denounced that. It was an incredibly ill-considered statement by Stephen Harper.
It would seem the Prime Minister now has opponents on both sides of the gun debate. While some are calling for tougher regulations, others say his actions are still not enough.
As for Hudson, he's calling Harper's rhetoric an empty shell.
It just seems like so much baloney. And as I say, it's green baloney. I mean, because baloney is good, but not the baloney he's selling.
For now, and for as long as the Conservatives disagree with his style of justice, he'll continue to break the law and taunt the authorities.
Come and arrest me, Stephen Harper.
All the while calling for an end to the government that he says turned its back on him. Calvin Toe, Global News.
Wow, so Calvin joins us now to talk a bit more about this story, and he's not giving up anytime soon. What are his next steps, Calvin?
That's right. He's quite angry with the government to the point where he wants them to see them ousted out of office and replaced with a Liberal NDP coalition. So you might see him driving Liberal and NDP signs into people's lawns sometime soon. If anything, because he wants to see them punished for what he says breaking a promise.
And when it comes to breaking things in general, I love the little ad pops there that he kept shooting at. But does it look like he's going to be getting in trouble for breaking the law anytime soon?
You know, the funny thing is he wants to get in trouble. He wants to get charged with a firearms-related offense. That way he can go to court and hopefully, from his point of view, challenge the law and make a change to the law. Now, in the meantime, if he's caught using his guns in public, which is exactly what he was doing when we were out there doing the story with him, he could have his guns taken away from him, but that doesn't necessarily mean he'll be taken to court.
All right, Calvin Toe, thanks so much for that. Some great reporting.